Hide my sister. The midnight knock that united a neighborhood against evil. It was 12:03 a.m. on a cold, moonless night in February, just past Valentine's Day, though love felt miles away. I was half asleep on the couch, the TV murmuring some forgotten movie, when a frantic pounding shattered the silence. Not the polite tap of a neighbor, but desperate, panicked fists against wood. I opened the door to find a girl, couldn't have been older than 16, shaking like a leaf in a storm. Her eyes were wide with terror, tears streaking her pale cheeks. "Please," she gasped, voice cracking, "hide my sister." Before I could even ask what was happening, she shoved past me into the house, slamming the door behind her and locking it with trembling hands. "They're watching the house," she whispered, peering through the blinds. "2 black SUVs, 4 men. They've been following us for days." My heart hammered against my ribs. This wasn't a neighborhood where things like this happened. We knew each other's dogs, borrowed sugar, waved from porches. But fear doesn't care about zip codes. Then she dropped the truth that froze my blood. "My little sister, she's 9. She's hiding in our car, 2 houses down. I ran ahead to get help. Please, go get her before they do." Without thinking, I grabbed my coat and bolted out the back door, cutting through yards like a shadow. Every rustle of leaves sounded like footsteps. Every distant car engine felt like a death sentence. When I reached their old sedan, I saw her, a tiny figure curled under the driver's seat, clutching a stuffed rabbit like it was her lifeline. "It's okay," I whispered, scooping her up. "I'm getting you to your sister." We sprinted back, hearts pounding in unison. Just as we slipped inside and locked the door, headlights swept across the living room wall. Tires crunched on gravel. Then, knocking. Heavy, authoritative, not pleading, demanding. "Open up, we know they're in there." I stood firm, shielding both girls behind me. The oldest sister clutched her sibling, whispering, "Don't let them take her. They're not who they say they are." Minutes later, police sirens wailed in the distance. Relief flooded me, until the cruiser pulled up and the officer stepped out and nodded at one of the men from the SUV, not with suspicion, with recognition. That's when I realized this wasn't just an abduction attempt. This was something darker, something connected. But I refused to be silenced. I flung open my front door and shouted into the night, "If anyone's awake, call 911. These men are trying to kidnap children." Windows lit up, porch lights flickered on, neighbors appeared in robes and slippers, phones in hand. A second patrol unit arrived within minutes, this time officers who didn't know the men. Questions flew, tensions rose, and then the older sister did something astonishing. With shaking voice but blazing eyes, she pointed directly at one of the men and said his name, his real name, and accused him of trafficking minors across 3 counties. The air changed. The first officer grew pale. Backup poured in, not just local cops, but county deputies. Within the hour, a county supervisor showed up, drawn by the escalating reports. Suddenly, those men in black SUVs weren't hunters anymore. They were cornered. By dawn, the sisters were safe in protective custody. The men, charged, detained, their vehicles impounded. Later, investigators uncovered a network far wider than anyone imagined, one that had operated in plain sight, shielded by corruption and fear. But that night, fear lost. Because one stranger answered a midnight knock. Because one teenage girl chose courage over silence. Because a neighborhood refused to look away. I still think about those girls, about how close evil came, and how ordinary people, armed only with decency and defiance, pushed it back. We live in a world that often feels broken, but stories like this remind us goodness isn't gone. It's just waiting for someone to act. So if you believe in kindness, in second chances, in the power of one person saying, "Not on my watch," then please like this video, share it, subscribe. Because stories like this need to be told. They need to be heard. They need to inspire others to stand up when it matters most. And if you're watching from anywhere in the world, whether it's Texas, Toronto, Tokyo, or Timbuktu, know this: courage has no borders. And sometimes, all it takes is opening your door at 12:03 a.m. to change a life forever. Today, those sisters are safe. They're healing. They're laughing again. And every time I see a child playing in my yard, I remember that night, not with fear, but with fierce, unshakable hope. Because evil may knock at midnight, but so does grace. Thanks for watching.